back to my coffee table with the Magnum Reloaded kit. Got all my parts assembled. Going to be using a FreeSky V8 R42, simple 4-channel Tyrannus compatible receiver. That'll do absolutely fine, even for when I put the Acro wing conversion on it. 8x4.3 slow fly propeller. I think it's a GWS. I'm pretty sure it's GWS. Being a 3-channel, 2 5-gram Hextronic 500 servos. Motor is a 2812-14, 1600 kV. It's a 1400 kV, it's just been mislabeled. I think it's a 2204, the actual stator dimensions. I think this is 2812 is the actual bell measurement. So anyway, that's a good combination for the slow fly prop, and what the specs say to use. It comes with some bullet connectors on it, so well, I've got the Turnigy Plush 10 amp, should be more than sufficient for this on 2-cell, maybe 3-cell depending, but I don't intend to do anything major crazy with it, just enjoy it for what it is. With that, the only other stuff, I have got the female ends of the bullet connectors. I might as well do it properly. I don't intend to take all the stuff out, but this is the hardware pack. Quite a nice system of the clevis, just CA the carbon rod in, but what I'm going to do on the servo end is put adjustable linkages on, so I can just slide the carbon rod through and cut it to length, just CA this end in, and then I can get the throws perfectly centered on the servo and so forth. With that, I think that just about covers the parts. I'm going to be in and out of recording while doing this. The first thing is I'm going to do it removable wing. So what I need to do is set up a plan for the underside of the wing, 115mm for the landing gear struts from the middle. You put the wing in the fuse and then glue the wing block to it. That's no problem. The tail and tail and rudder section, I'm not going to be doing hard manoeuvres, but I might as well reinforce it with a couple of spars. I've got the carbon fibre rods handy anyway, so that's no problem. And I'll do the hinges with CA and get all that legwork out of the way, and then I can get to building it really quick. So I'm going to skip over that, gluing it. I'm just going to mark it out and do the tail and rudder quick. I think what I'm going to do is drill a hole from behind the firewall to above the wing for the speed controller to sit in and the receiver, and then channels for the servos underneath, just be like a little slit with the wires poked in. I think I'm going to have to cut the servo holes, they're the right size width wise, but they're not tall enough, so I just need to enlarge them slightly. So all the main components minus the battery, which I'm going to mount up here depending where I need to after everything's installed. I'll get the centre of gravity, laying the battery on my nose, figure out where I need, and then I will cut a slot for it. But minus the battery, everything else should be hidden, I hope. So with that, I'm going to do the shit list and get that done, and I will be back to start gluing stuff together and trimming bits up. So now is later, or later is now. I'll put a good old spar in there. That's the flex of the EPP normally, and now that side you can see that it's a lot more rigid. So there's a spar of Yoo-hoo poured it in that to seal it, and it's still a bit tacky after, well, days really. This elevator has got 3 hinges CA'd in, slotted and beveled, so there's plenty of throw on there. The rudder, same, got a carbon spar running up to about here. That's EPP Yoo-hoo poured in, 2 hinges, so beveled, and that's all ready to go. And the wing I have made, I measured from a bevel on the wings, which were hot wire cut into it. Centre of the fuse is here, obviously where the landing gear is going to go. So with that, I have got marked on the fuse where the centre block's going to go and the landing gear is going to go. So with that, that is all positioned ready to hot glue. Next up, I'm going to drill the hole through from here, cut the firewall to the right size because it's oversized at the moment. So I'm going to drill in from there straight to here, and then cut a bit of a channel in here for the receiver, or maybe a bit further in, and then just slot the wires in and cut the servos out. Grab the servo quick. This is what I was mentioning, that see, there's about a third of the servo sticking up above the EPP, so it just needs to be deepened ever so slightly, no problem. Make a nice slot channel in there. I think all the receiver and everything can fit in here, to be honest. There's going to be enough space, but I'm going to step drill it and then I'm going to have to hand drill it a bit further. Well, being nearly 1 AM, I don't want to wake the little man up. Oh, of course, and be hot gluing that and getting that set. Onwards and upwards. Okay, progress so far. Firewall is cut and drilled to allow for the motor. The shaft sticks out the back slightly, and obviously the wires will need to be routed into there, so as you can see there. So that's all done. Started the channel all the way through to here. It needs to be dug out a little bit more, but that's no problem. And the ESC is got a JST soldered on one end and the female bullet connectors on the other. The ESC does just about fit in the hole. Well, a little bit of persuasion of a male sort will sort that out, so that's all good. So a little bit more fettling and that should be all good. Last update before I retire for the night. It's going to be getting light soon, and servos gouged out a bit, they fit flush. Done the channel for the servo wires into a nice big cavity here. That should take the receiver, so hopefully, well, there you go, plenty of space in there. Probably won't be able to get it back out now. motor is mounted to the firewall, albeit temporarily, with small screws out of a small Emacs servo. Pop that in like so. With that, it's just plugging it all in between with the ESC in the large channel. It's a large channel that should fit the ESC and wires quite snugly. Okay, that will be mounted probably in there like that. Bundle the wires up to the receiver, which is down here. May do a bit more wire management, and obviously this will come out at the side somewhere, and the battery will be mounted up here. I think for now that's all the legwork done. I'm going to hit the sack when I've tidied it up. Got a lot done, and the Magnum Reloaded is progressing well. Progress made. First things first, got the servo further into the fuselage, and I'll fit quite nicely, nice and flush. So that's all good. I've cut little channels in. I'll probably put some U-hoop ore on there. Channel's a little bit deeper. I still need to widen this one out just a little bit more for the speed controller. Turn down a ring to the right diameter for the prop saver. The speed controller and the motor I've just plugged into the servo tester and got to the right counterclockwise rotation for the propeller. Just marked them so they can go back easy. Excuse the mess before I start on the final the home stretch. Just getting the small little bits organised. These are the horns that are going to go into the elevators and so forth, and the attachments, they're 1.5mm and the holes are sized right. Either which way, if I'm going to use this, I'm going to have to drill the servo horn, and I'm going to use these, and they're 0.5mm larger diameter than the clevis or something. But if I drill the top hole, it's going to leave hardly any material and it's going to be weak. So what I'm going to do is, with a pin vise, I'm going to drill the second hole, and I'm going to attach a control rod and place this with the second hole over the hinge itself to make up, so I've got plenty of throw, hopefully. So with that, these are the 2mm, they're the only ones I've got, a 2mm shaft here, but they are sized correctly for the carbon rod. There you go. I take a circlip on the back and a grub screw in the front. So I'm going to leave plenty of meat on the front, so if I do need or desire more throws, I can just move it down to the lowest on the elevator and rudder. So with that, and don't know if that's visible. As you can imagine, if I was to drill the top hole out, there would be no structure to the horn itself, but that just goes like that. There's the servo horns done. Circlip on the back of the washer, grub screw in there. It's already got the Loctite on it, just drying and setting. Push rods with the clevis. Apparently it's just a dab of super glue, so just a little drop in here. And then you stick yourself to it. But they look to be all the way in. So I'm just going to let those set. Do some hot gluing. Get the wing all done, the elevator and the servos are hot glued in. Put the horns in, centre the servos, put this on, and then I'll be able to trim off the excess to use the leftover to mount the wing block. I'll mincy little glue gun. Take some these small glue sticks, but they're cheap, by about 100 for £5. I'm going to glue in the servos to begin with. Put a couple of score lines in there to give it something to grip to. Got some spare foam board to squeegee. So apparently, according to the instructions on this elevation, the rod this side goes to the underside of the elevator and the other side obviously goes to the rudder. So let's do the rudder first. Getting close to the home straight now. Got my control linkages installed. Servos have been centered and so forth. Got a little servo tester and a back on here at the moment. It's manual. Okay, have a motor just sat here just for a moment. Got the speed controller and everything plumbed in. Speed controller and back, battery, probably come up to back, battery, JST, battery will be placed up here somewhere, and rudder and elevator. Got a little bit extra on the control linkages and I'll just cut them off when I need to. Left to do, just glue the motor mount in of the firewall and just screw that in while it's setting up. Put the canopy fairing on, wherever it is. Here it is. So I have a little windscreen. Install the receiver. Plenty of space in there for the V4R, V8R4 too. The only other thing is to install the two removable wing carbon pieces that I've already got cut to the right length. Oh, and I'm going to have to trim the bottom of these winglets up at some point. I do believe that is all of the gluing I need to do done, and the rest of it. Okay, everything is in, nice and tidy. GST's just sticking outside for battery placement wherever it's going to be. Might tidy that up, put a hole in the side. Wings done, rods are in. Let's buckle this up quick for the first time. No way that's coming off. Okay. Got it bound up to the Tyrannus QX7. It's just simple elevator and aileron for rudder and elevator. This isn't the battery I'm going to use, but elevator up, down, rudder to the left, to the right, and a little bit of power. All in good working order. Just a matter of attaching my prop with a prop saver. And got them centre of gravity marked, 3 inches behind the leading edge. The plans say behind the nose stick. Well, translated, don't know what that means, but reference online says 3 inches behind the centre of gravity, the leading edge, sorry. Not that I'll end up using this, it might be one to use. I've got some 400 milliamp hours, but this should serve as a good that much, pretty much balances. So it's ready for the maiden. Put the battery in up here. So it was zippy compact, but any other battery should fit in there. With a 3" off the leading edge centre of gravity, it's ever so slightly tail heavy. But I think this is quite a forgiving plane. I mean, I can always put wheels on the landing gear. I've got the wheels and the stuff to do it, no problem. But with that, the only thing left to do now is the maiden. So please join me in the next instalment, and we'll see if it's everything I thought it would be from other people's videos and so forth, which I'm sure it will be. Thanks for watching.